You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating, new, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Thursday, September 11th. In our top story, in new developments following the assassination of controversial commentator Charlie Kirk on Wednesday, today now the FBI is releasing a public update identifying who they say is a possible suspect connected to the fatal attack.
Yesterday, September 10th, conservative youth activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a gunman positioned nearly 200 meters away on a rooftop. Today, the FBI has released photos of the possible suspect and is now offering $100,000 in rewards for anyone who can help identify him. Beau Mason is a safety commissioner and says that the shooter appears to be of college age, and a nationwide manhunt is now underway. According to BBC News, someone had said good video footage showing the alleged suspect jumping from the rooftop to run away. He discarded his weapon in a nearby neighborhood. Authorities are now asking people in the houses nearby if they have a doorbell camera to come forward with the footage of the street. President Donald Trump also said this.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come.
David Kohlmeyer is also announcing a reward in this case.
David Kohlmeyer, widely known as the Problem Solver, has announced that a cash reward of $20,000 would be given to anyone that provides tips that lead to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the individual responsible for the recent shooting of Charlie Kirk. Charles James Kirk was an amazing right-wing political activist, author, and media personality. He co-founded the conservative organization Turning Point USA in 2012 and was its executive director. He was the chief executive officer of Turning Point Action and a member of the Council for National Policy. Charlie Kirk was seen as understanding the pulse of the young conservative movement and the Make America Great Again base. He had a direct line to Trump and could count on the president valuing his opinion even if they disagreed. The FBI has released images of a person of interest through the Problem Solvers Nationwide initiative, which is funded by sponsors and the popular Problem Solver podcast. This reward is being offered to encourage the public to provide crucial information. Kohlmeyer is a retired police officer from both New York Police Department and Henderson, Nevada. Now Director of Client Relations for the Las Vegas Legal Network, Kohlmeyer goes to work helping people with legal problems, specifically car accidents, personal injury, arrest, family law, and immigration. He is the host of the popular podcast, The Problem Solver, that brings in industry professionals, celebrities, and experts on his show to discuss concerns of the residents in Las Vegas and find solutions for them. All tips can be submitted anonymously via www.thecrimesolver.com or by calling 1-833-TIPS-CASH.
And today is 9/11. We're commemorating that truly terrible tragedy that happened 24 years ago when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, on this somber day, the town of Pahrump came together to create a memorial and pray for the lives lost back on September 11th, 2001.
A nation remembers. 24 years have passed, but the echoes of September 11th, 2001 remain etched in the hearts of America. Today, communities from coast to coast are gathering to honor the nearly 3,000 lives tragically cut short on that clear Tuesday morning. Here in Pahrump, Nevada, the sentiment is one of solemn unity. Residents have come together at Calvada I to pay their respects. For many, the memories of that day are as vivid as ever. The ceremony included moments of silent reflection, the reading of victims' names with local ties, and heartfelt tributes from community leaders and first responders. Many of those in uniform today were inspired to serve in the wake of 9/11, a testament to the enduring spirit of service that arose from the ashes of the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and the field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. As the names are read and the bells toll, the message is clear. While the scars of that day remain, so does the strength and compassion that was shown through in our nation's darkest hour. A day of remembrance, a day of honor, and a continuing promise to never forget. Reporting from Pahrump, Nevada, this is Davey from KPVM TV.
Go Aces, go. We are praying that they win their 15th game in a row tonight against the Sparks in LA. Here's Mikey Ruhan with more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators picked up a W in Game 2 in the Battle of Nevada, 3-0 against the Reno Aces, rematch this evening at 6:35. The Las Vegas Aces are in LA tonight to play their final regular season game against the Sparks. Aces are number 3 in league standings, right behind the Atlanta Dream. Their standing could be tied tonight with a Dream loss against Connecticut. When it comes to the playoffs, the Aces will have home court advantage for Game 1. And the Las Vegas Raiders welcome the LA Chargers for their home opener this Monday. And Pahrump Valley Trojan football are on the road next Friday. They play Cheyenne. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks so much, Mikey. Turning back now to even more local news. This Saturday, Sleep in Heavenly Peace will be making beds for local children.
Hi, I'm Michelle Caird, and I'm with Sleep in Heavenly Peace here in Pahrump. And we would like to invite you all out to our latest bed build, which will be on Saturday the 13th. We'll be starting at 7:30 in the morning. The address is 2731 South Wood Chips, and we hope you all can come and join us and help build beds for children that are sleeping either on the floor, with other kids, on the couch. And studies have found that if they have their own bed, they do better in school and they have fewer social issues. So it's a real win for the whole entire community. Please come out and join us. Any time you can give would be helpful. This is Carmen Merzen, our president, and now she'd like to talk.
Hi, I would like to have all you guys come out, bring your neighbors, your friends. This is our 7th annual Bunks Across America build. There's over 250 chapters through North America that will be building the same day. So I hope you can come out and help us do this and, give some kids some beds, and we'll have a good time and enjoy yourself. So come out and help us and support us. Thank you. My phone number is 775-910-8921 if you need more information.
Or you can call me at 509-995-3078. Thank you again.
Are all coughs and sneezes equal? Well, find out in our health news after this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, in today's health news, we're asking if you have allergies, do you know the difference between an allergic flare-up and a cold? Well, Anthony Roberts has the scoop now.
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
Colds can actually linger for about 7 to 14 days. They can come with fevers. They can feel achy and feel unwell, while allergies will recur every single year.
Dr. Hong says allergies are usually chronic, while colds resolve on their own. Along with fever, a wet cough, and sore throat are more common with a cold or other illnesses, though some cold and allergy symptoms overlap. Itching, watery eyes, sneezing, and a runny nose are typical of allergies. So what triggers those fall allergy flare-ups?
Very frequently, it's ragweed. Most people with allergies are allergic to ragweed, but then there are multiple other types of weeds out there. There's also lots of molds. And then indoors, we continue to have the same indoor allergens that we always have year-round. So those are things like pet dander, we've got dust mites, and we also have molds indoors.
In today's electrifying news, do you ever wonder how your power is restored after an outage? Here's Valley Electric Association sharing the process.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
When the power goes out, most of us expect it to come back on within a few hours, but sometimes major storms cause widespread damage and outages can last longer than expected. The good news is that your electric co-op's line crews work long, hard hours to restore service safely to the greatest number of members. That's you in the shortest time possible. Ever wonder how they do it? Well, there are 4 steps to restoring power that we should all know about, especially when we find ourselves in the dark. Step 1. Repair high-voltage transmission lines. Transmission towers and lines supply power to thousands of members. They rarely fall, but when they do, they must be repaired first before other parts of the system can operate. Step 2. Inspect distribution substation. Distribution substations receive high-voltage power from transmission lines, then disperse that power at a lower voltage to the co-op's main distribution lines. Depending on your electric co-op's service territory, distribution substations can serve either hundreds or thousands of members. When a major power outage occurs, the co-op's line crews inspect the substation to determine if the problem stems from the transmission lines feeding into the substation itself, or if the problem is further down the line. Step 3. Check main distribution lines. If the problem cannot be isolated at a distribution substation, the main distribution lines are checked first. These lines carry power to large groups of members in your electric co-op's service territory. Step 4. Examine tap lines. If local outages persist, supply lines called tap lines are examined. These lines deliver power to transformers that are either mounted on poles or placed on pads for underground service and can be found outside of homes, businesses, and schools. Occasionally, damage will occur on the service lines between the nearest transformer and your home. Has your neighbor ever had power while yours is out? That is why. When the problem is in the tap lines, co-op line crews will fix outages in an order that will restore service to the greatest number of members at a time. As you can see, restoring power after a major outage is a big job and involves much more than simply flipping a switch or removing a tree from a damaged line. When co-ops work to restore power, they often have the capability to work on multiple parts of the system simultaneously. This ensures reliable power with a faster response time. In the event of an outage, your local line crews will restore power safely to the greatest number of members in the shortest time possible, and we'll keep working until the lights are back on. As always, we appreciate your patience and your business.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Time to take a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam, and we have breezy conditions and not a cloud in the sky in that direction. A gorgeous September day, but our clouds and smoke from wildfires blowing into the area. Find out in weather next.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Time now to take a look at the weather in Pahrump, Las Vegas, and Nevada's surrounding areas. The high today in Death Valley topping out at only 96. Las Vegas's high today 90, and all throughout Clark County there is an air quality advisory through Friday due to wildfire smoke from California and the Pacific Northwest. Amargosa's high Today, topping out at 88. Beatty's high, only 82. Goldfield dips down to 73. Tonopah's high, only 71. Carson City tops out at 72 degrees. Fallon and Fernley are in the mid-70s for their highs. And today in Pahrump, it is currently 85 degrees. The high today only 86 with winds out of the south-southwest at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 18%. Sunrise was at 6:23 a.m. And tonight, our overnight low will be 62 here in Pahrump with winds out of the east-southeast at 7 miles per hour. Humidity at 29%. And sunset will be just before 7 p.m. Our 7-day forecast looking ahead, we are in the upper 80s and lower to mid-90s throughout the rest of the week and this weekend. And starting our work week, the same mid-90s for the highs and low 70s for the overnight lows. That does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and A's Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.